I'm not paying back no student loans. They need to learn financial responsibility. Who in the hell lets an 18-year-old borrow $20,000 without their parents anyways?
I just found out that 30% of Americans are not paying their bills. Yeah, you heard that right. 30% of Americans are not paying their bills. Now, if we look at the entire U.S. population, we'll round it up to 350 million. Let's say 350 million. Now, anywhere between 50 and 100 million of those people are not paying bills. They're not old enough to have expenses or be responsible for those expenses. So let's just wipe out, let's say 50 million to make it easy. So 350 down to 300 million. That means if 30% of Americans are not paying their bills, that is a little under 100 million people have just said, nah, I'm good. I'm okay. Not paying my rent. Landlord, kick rocks. Fuck off. Car, nah, who cares? Let the dealer eat that one. Who gives a fuck? Nah, it's my car. You're going to have to take it out of my cold, dead hands is what they're saying. And look, first and foremost, I have to give them all the respect in the world, because if you're telling your creditor to fuck off, you're giving them the middle finger. Shit, you might be giving them two middle fingers and just saying, nah, not getting money this month. Nah, not getting money next month. Maybe 3 months. No, 3 months. That's a little bit too soon. Like, respect to you. Respect to you. That takes a set of cojones. Now, for some of these people, it might just be desperation. They don't have a choice. They don't have another option. This is option A, B, C, D, E combined. This is the only way out. So for them, not as much respect, at least in terms of the cojones part. I understand where you're coming from, though. And I hope that the financial struggles those people are going through get alleviated sooner than later, if at all. I hope they get alleviated, because I hate seeing this. And really, all jokes aside, though, it is disheartening to see that many people just giving up on paying bills. Not because it's a moral thing, like, oh, you should pay your creditors off. No, it's not about that. It's just the fact that they're in a position where they literally can't make another choice, where the only choice is to say, no, you're not getting paid. My heart goes out to people, because I see them every day. I drive them every day. I'm not in great areas when I drive around. I'm not going out to the wealthy areas to pick people up. Very rarely do I. I'm always in the poorer neighborhoods. I'm always at the lowest income bracket, the bottom of the bottom. So I see these people. I talk to these people. They're great human beings. They're wonderful human beings. They're some of the nicest, most caring, empathetic people I've ever met. And they can't pay their bills. And it's fucked. It's fucked. But really what it shows is that the evidence is becoming irrefutable. The only thing that is holding this house of cards together is the stock market price, the fact that unemployment isn't above 4.5% yet, and because the CPI inflation report isn't as high as it was. What is it at? Like 3.1, 3.2, something like that, even though we all know the CPI is a load of shit. Those three numbers are holding the economy together. Those three numbers are holding the whole system together. And I want to hear what you have to say below, because I always tell you, I'm not always right, but I'm always real. And I want to learn from you just as much as I hope you learn from me, or at least gain something from my perspective, even though some people think I'm fucking loony, which I might be. But in any case, let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you're experiencing on the ground, because I want to get in touch with the reality of the situation where you're at, so that I can learn and have a better perspective on what's going on. Because in my mind, this number is just another nail in the coffin to what is an already dead economy.
There's been a growing wave of conversations online about Americans feeling more and more disconnected from the system, and some people are even talking about refusing taxes or finding ways around them. So while these TikToks play, I want to break down what's actually driving that mindset and why I feel like this topic keeps popping up. Because underneath it all, it isn't just about taxes, it's about pressure, frustration, and trust slowly breaking down in the background.
I'm not paying no more bills. I don't give a fuck. Cut all this shit off. I go move in with my sister. I'm sick of it. You know what I'm saying? Every month. Mortgage. You want water? You want electricity? Man? And then you're sitting here, I'm trying to recycle, make the world a better place, so maybe some of these prices can go down. Hell no, y'all stop the recycling. My sister's house worth it. Her Wi-Fi, jumping. AC, bumping, just replaced. Bed, fresh. Linen, always clean. Her cooking, through the roof. Now your leftovers, they gonna eat them. You can't leave them in the fridge. Then I mean, my nieces, I gotta pay them some money. They know how to get money out of me. You know what I'm saying? I might end up paying more to them than I do in bills.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, this lady sounds way too excited. I think she's been planning to move in with her sister for way longer than this problem has been around.
Just seen a video about a lady stressing that she can't pay off her student loans. And I'm confused because I thought we all agreed we are never paying that back. Why does it look like I'm going to give that money back? Like, I just thought either we will all lie and say we don't meet the threshold, actually don't meet the threshold so we don't pay it back, or just lie. I don't know, like never fill in your login details once you graduate uni. What do I look like worrying about paying back a loan that I borrowed at 18 when my main priorities was buzzballs and traveling the Midlands? Like, yes, I got my degree, but I also used that money to order food. What are you going to do about it? Next time, don't give a bunch of kids free money. In fact, I'm actually not ever going to pay it back because you gave me minimum. You gave me a loan that never even covered my rent. So, student loan, take that.
Not paying my student loans. The government keeps threatening all these things they're going to do to people if they don't pay their student loans. I don't think they realize we don't care. We don't have enough to care. We don't care about credit scores anymore. We don't care if you siphon our paychecks. We're just going to quit and move on to the next company because that company was probably going to fire us anyway. People don't stay at jobs like they used to. People aren't locked in to a job they have to stay at for 35 years because they're getting a pension and great benefits. Those things don't happen anymore. So if you threaten to siphon people's paychecks, they're just going to quit and go to another company because that company was probably going to go bankrupt anyway and fire everybody in the next couple months. This is going to be so much work for the government to siphon paychecks, and it's not going to get them enough money. They're going to end up losing money because they're going to have to hire thousands of people to try and get this money from people that don't have it. They're going to end up spending more money than they get in the long run. So these empty threats that they're giving us, they aren't scaring us. If the government's watching, it doesn't scare us. We don't have enough for that to scare us. So I won't pay the hospital then if you take my student loans out of my check. It's one or the other. We pay our health care and our medical bills, or we pay our student loan bills, or our credit cards, or our loans. Like, we can't pay it all. We're not making enough to pay it all. We're not sitting back and living in mansions, going on 20 vacations a year like the billionaires and saying, I don't want to pay my student loans. That's not it. We literally can barely afford life. We're just choosing which bills to pay. And the student loan one was taken off of the plate. I have less. Back when I was paying my student loans and the economy was a little better, I had more money back then, even with paying the student loans. I have less money now, and you want to take the student loans on top of it. I can't even be nervous about it because I can't afford it. I don't know what you're going to take from me, but whatever you take, that means I'm not going to pay something else because I don't have that kind of money. My job just doesn't pay that. It just doesn't.
More people are starting to feel like the system they were told to rely on isn't giving them the same return it used to. Costs are rising in almost every direction, from rent to groceries to basic living expenses, and a lot of people are feeling like they're running harder just to stay in place. That creates this growing frustration where following all the rules doesn't feel rewarding anymore. For some, the frustration stays internal, but for others, it turns into openly questioning why they should keep participating the same way. Online, you can see people expressing the idea that they're tired of doing everything quote-unquote right and still not getting ahead. It's not always organized or logical, but it reflects a sense of burnout, and when enough people feel that way at once, even extreme ideas start getting attention.
So I'm just trying to understand why people are still paying bills when a lot of y'all can't even afford to feed y'all families. I mean, it's crystal clear that the government don't care about y'all, never have. There's families stuck right now in North Carolina with no food, no water, no supplies. And instead of sending the soldiers over there to help, they're sending them overseas. And then it was said that there's not enough money for hurricane relief, but there's enough for Ukraine. And on top of everything, they're still letting in these immigrants who are convicted criminals through the border. And we can't forget that they're trying to replace our jobs with robots. So it's like, through all of this sabotage that they keep throwing at us, we still paying them. Like, it's just not making sense. As a collective, we need to come together and stop paying. Like, if y'all gonna keep raising prices and making it hard to live, then at least let me get my full check. Stop paying taxes. I mean, pretty soon, none of that's gonna matter anyways. I said we got about 2 more months of everything being intact and in order. And after that, I don't know. But for now, we should stop paying them because we're not benefiting from paying taxes. Ukraine is. Israel is. I mean, I'm just saying, before all this shit goes down, can we stand for something?
Just hear me out. What if we completely just stop paying bills? They can't cut everybody lights off. They can't cut everybody what off. They need us. One band, one sound. Like, I feel like we could do this. And I'm not saying let's do it year round. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like let's do it during the summer. Because how did my light bill go from $35 to $110 for the summer? That is BS. Ain't no way in fucking hell electricity is costing y'all that much. I'm about to go back to rubbing 2 sticks together and get me a lantern for the house. I don't need that much light to see anyway. Everything is high right now. Light bill high, water bill high, car insurance high, my weight high. Bitch, I'm up the hill right now. And then y'all sitting up here wondering why a bitch sitting at McDonald's with an attitude. Bitch, I'm mad because I can't pay the rest of these bills and I'm working 49 hours a week. Shit, get them some grain. And for y'all people that say, they do this every year, y'all should be used to it. Shut up. We're talking about the kids being home extra during the summer. So my light bill high, my water bill high. I got to find something for these kids to do, buy school clothes. And then I mess around and blank it's a child's birthday and Christmas. Shut the fuck up.
There is a massive, massive movement online right now to fucking go exempt on your taxes. Have you seen this? And a lot of people are saying that we need a tax strike. And it's fucking getting real traction, dude. I have been saying this for years. I'm gonna figure out if I can go exempt.
Will you go exempt and I won't, and then we'll have this conversation.
The thing is, you can go exempt all day. You just, at the end of the year, you might have to pay a massive amount of fucking taxes. It's not illegal to go exempt.
Yeah, but I'm not.
But I'm telling you, if enough people, and this is where this movement is really gaining traction, and I'm going to take full fucking credit for it, because I've been saying this for years and years and years. I have been saying this for years. If you want to affect change in this country, cut their fucking money off.
Yeah.
And this is how we do it.
Yeah.
If 20, 30, 50, 100 million people go exempt on their tax forms and their W-4s and their I-9s and all this shit, then the government doesn't have your money to play with anymore. And you can collapse this place into a fucking spot where they have to start listening.
Bro, the president literally said, I don't care about Americans' financial situations. Go exempt on your taxes. Go exempt on your taxes. You can just put a little money aside, put it into a high yield savings account, and if you need to pay something at the end of the year, pay it. Stop paying these taxes. I really want to say stop paying them overall, for real. Crazy. The orange dude that can't stop boo-booing on himself running our country. It's crazy, man.
There's a lot of things in this world that I'll pay, but student loans is not one of them. I'll be seeing like people stress out about paying student loans, and I'm not going to have that stressor. Why? Because I'm just not going to pay it. I just don't get the concept of me furthering my education and going to school so I can be in debt $100,000. I just don't understand. So what y'all telling me is that we can fund wars for countries that ain't got nothing to do with us, but we making our Americans pay all this money in debt for school. Then what happened to Biden? Biden, you said you was that's how you got us. You said you was gonna cancel 10,000 or 20,000, whatever the case may be. I ain't seen a cancellation yet. So I'm just trying to figure out who's the people that actually got canceled. Because I ain't seen nobody come on this internet here and say that their student loans have been canceled. The government is going to have to get them student loans by blood, because I'm never going to just make a payment on them. Never. Y'all going to have to come take that out of my check in order to get it, because it ain't happening. It just ain't.
I've decided that I'm never going to pay back my student loans, and this is how I'm going to finesse them. I'm currently getting a doctoral degree, and I'll be milking those student loan refund checks throughout the process, while, of course, doing the work authentically. However, upon graduation in about 2.5 years, I'm going to continue to go to college for the rest of my life. This isn't a new secret. However, I'm going to pay out of pocket 2 classes a semester, 6 credits in a degree-seeking program, at least 2 semesters a year. That'll be about $2,000 max, including books. And then I'll get a lifetime learner's credit of $1,000 on my tax return. So my net payment is only $1,000. And I will continue to get associate's degrees. And just, keep learning.
A huge part of this shift comes from how financially squeezed people are already before taxes even enter the conversation. That has become a normal part of people's lives, whether it's student loans, credit cards, or just keeping up with rents and bills every month. Many are working full-time and still feeling like they're barely keeping their heads above water. This kind of pressure changes how people view every financial obligation because everything starts to feel connected to the same struggle. At the same time, instead of full rejection, a lot of people are looking for ways to reduce pressure through loopholes, deductions, side income strategies, and financial hacks. Some of it is standard financial planning, but the mindset behind it feels different right now. More reactive and survival based. It shows a growing focus on escape routes rather than long-term confidence and stability.